Beneath are more specific desires, such as to eat a snack and to watch a good show. It can be argued are desires, or should we say our deeper desires, such as to feel profound satisfaction, happiness, freedom, power, and so forth. With that said, the tough truth here to grasp would be that the only real way to attain these deeper underlying goods that we truly wish for is through a long process of education and maturation, such to which there are really truly no shortcuts. Understanding that can hopefully give us clarity that nothing else will. Why? Because when we do not truly make it click, that the only way to get to where we want to go is by following a long road and not skipping any steps. Not as if we could skip any steps, but not even to imagine that we could skip any steps. Then we can perhaps cease to deceive ourselves, to delude ourselves that there are shortcuts, that we could get to where we truly want to go like that by a quick fix, by some or another immediate stimulation, or by some or another external change that does not involve internal change, or by participation in some sort of program, by joining some kind of club or clique or cult, whatever the case might be, by reading a magical book, right, by hearing a magical formula, by repeating a magical sentence, whatever the case might be. There are no shortcuts. As an analogy, if I want to get somewhere that's 1,000 miles away, I have to transverse, or traverse, whatever it is, every single inch or millimeter, whatever unit of measurement we prefer, of that 1,000 miles. There's just no way around it. It's true that I could fly, or that I could take a car or a bus, or maybe even bike, or maybe even walk. And there's different speeds to get there. I could try to take a nap as it happens during it if I'm flying. But I still have to go through every single little bit of space to get there. There's logically no other way. There's no little wormhole, quote unquote, or whatnot, where I could peep into and then emerge out the other end. Nothing like that. So just so, again, in life, this holds as it concerns even subsidiary pursuits, meaning less important pursuits, such as wealth. To truly gain wealth, I have to become a certain, kind of person. All of a sudden, I get a big inheritance, or I win the lottery, and I'm not already fiscally responsible. I'm not already somebody that can delay gratification. It will not help me in the long term. It can satisfy some of my desires, soon it'll be gone, and there will probably be more problems in its place than there were prior. I have to be a certain kind of person, and to become that kind of person, I have to ask myself, how can I create value for others? How can I educate myself? All that kind of stuff. To truly be physically healthy, it's the same thing. There are some surgeries that sometimes are appropriate. Certainly, there's some things that can be done, but ultimately, I have to lead a certain kind of lifestyle over a long period of time. Eat and not eat certain kinds of things, exercise in a certain kind of way, and so forth. If I just, stuff my sleeves with cloth to have bigger biceps, or try to tie my tummy up, that can be a quick fix concerning appearance, or illusory appearance, but that's obviously not the real deal. And just so, we can keep going with those examples, of course, but in the broadest arena, which is that of my life itself in whole, my individuality in whole, right? The totality, such as is myself, is a subjectivity, is an instance of subjectivity, such around which there is no getting around, such concerning which I can't take a break, I can't take a little pause, I can't stop being myself, even for a moment. Even in sleep, if I have dreams, the dreams are in light of who I am. That would be kind of that broadest arena, and the same idea would therein apply. There is no way to get to where I want to go as that individuality, as that totality, that destination being something such as could be described as one of happiness, freedom, power, goodness, whatever the case might be. There's no way to get there by any kind of shortcut, only education and maturation, step by step down the long road that is so called. Now, that's it. That's kind of the central idea that would be worth understanding. What about a little bit more particularly? Here, age is something to take into account. It must be admitted. If I have reason to think that time may be on my side, we never know if it will be on our side, but it may be on our side, then I should kind of set my sights on a target far off in the distance. For example, at whatever age I reach a little bit of capacity for critical thinking and self consciousness, doesn't have to be great, modest, right, as would be expected for a teenager, for example, but a little bit there should be at some point at 13, 14, 15, 16, whatever the case might be. I can use that bit of critical self consciousness and think to myself, I want to be a certain kind of person in a long time, in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years. Also, I can and should want to accomplish particular things. Maybe I want to become wealthy. Maybe I want to be powerful. I want to be a great athlete. I want to be a great student. I want to be a great influencer on social media. That can be all phenomenal. And indeed, we need those concrete goals to pursue. But the main thing is what kind of totality, what kind of person truly will I become? That is what my real happiness and satisfaction and freedom and power is predicated on, meaning is reliant on. It's not just on what happens out there, it's on what happens in here and who am I. So I set my sights again somewhere in the distance, right, down the line, 10 years, 20 years. And while I'm traveling that road, of course, there must be highs and there must be lows, and the lows can get very low. And before I become the kind of person that I wish to be, I may suffer through all kinds of things. I may suffer through all kinds of mental and emotional crises. That is not only normal, but necessary. But because I have my sights set far in the distance, it doesn't disturb me. Right? I'm driving in a car, right, and I want to get to the sunny beach somewhere 100 miles away, and now it's stormy, right, and now it's rainy, lightning, now there's traffic, all kinds of things. But I have my sights set there. I have some faith that hopefully I will get there. I have enough gas in this case and other things, but all the same, I've taken some provisions. So it's okay, I can weather the storm. But if I say immediately things have to be good, I have to be feeling good now, then any little disturbance can, of course, mess with me big time. So that would be as it concerns an individual that supposes him or herself to have time on their side. No guarantees, but possibly. Now, what if I don't think that I have time on my side, or I don't have rational reason to think that I have time on my side? I'm already 120 years old. I cannot go on a long journey. I cannot travel a long distance as it concerns the road of education and maturation. I can't make plans, 5 years I'm going to work, and then I'm going to study, and I'm going to form myself, and I'm going to do all these kind of things. It's not realistic. What then? Then the quote unquote solution or the approach would seem to be humility, awareness, self-awareness, and humility. If I can become cognizant of the fact that I have missed my shot at becoming somebody as an individual, as a person, that I have missed the mark as it concerns maturation and education, I was pursuing something else. I was pursuing my feelings of power, my feelings of superiority, my feelings of pleasure, but not real power, not real happiness, not real goodness and such. I missed it. I stopped on the side of the road or I drove the other direction. To use those analogies, the only thing that I can do at this point is to become aware of that and to allow that to humble me. And that in itself is a good. We probably shouldn't deceive ourselves and say that, oh, and I will immediately like that become like somebody that I could have been if I had taken the right road 50 years ago, 100 years ago, whatever the case might be. But it'll be at least something real. It'll be something actual and respectable and worth admiring. If I continue to delude myself and say that no, I'm actually the best and I'm everything that I could be and I'm perfectly joyous and happy. Look, I like to do this and I like to do that and these are my hobbies and okay, then I remain in just nonsense. If I can become aware of the fact that I have missed my shot, that I have missed taking that long path to which there are no shortcuts to true goodness, that in itself is a real good, and that is then what we ought to strive for. So, to briefly summarize, an extremely important insight would be that to get to true goods in life, real happiness, real freedom, real power, real goodness, real love, keep going, there's only one way, and that way is long and it is hard. It is a way that can be described by terms such as education, such as maturation, such as formation over a long period of time. If I have reason to think that I have time on my side because I'm young, then I can set my sights 10 years in the future, 20 years in the future, 50 years in the future, and strive to move in that direction. And consequently, hopefully, gain the courage and grit to endure all kinds of ordeals and storms along the way. If it's too late for me, because my time is coming to a close, then if I can be honest about that, and if I can be honest about the fact that I missed my shot, then that honesty and the possibly ensuing humility will also be something real, something good, and something profoundly admirable. So we can consider it. Thank you for listening.